presentation for the DHHL Hawai'i Island Plan update for Kona Moku. This is the round 3 beneficiary consultation presentation. This is the agenda from the meeting. This presentation will cover project overview and timeline, background information, dive into land inventory, and show the updated track maps. For our overview and approach, for Hawai'i Island plans, like all island plans, they have a 20-year time frame, meaning they're updated about every 20 years. Last one for Hawai'i Island was done in 2002. These plans primarily look at land inventory. They identify land uses. They determine priorities, like what are the priority homesteading areas for development, and they help with coordination both internally within the divisions, between DHHL and our beneficiaries, and with extended agencies. This is our planning system at the top. General plan, most recently updated in 2022, sets the guidelines and frameworks, statewide policy frameworks. The island plans are at tier 2, again 20-year time frame about when they're updated. This plan was most recently done in 2002 with a West Hawaii amendment completed in 2009 to capture the lands that were added between 2002 and 2009 to the Homelands Inventory. Pause here for more information. Here's the updated project schedule. We're here at meeting number 3. Next step is to do a comment period, put out a draft version, comment period for that, take it to the commission, make all of the revisions, and get a final adopted by the commission. Pause for more information about the process. Pause for more information about how beneficiary knowledge is captured. Here's all of the land tracts for Hawai'i Island, just under 120,000 acres. These are the land use designation categories based on the 2002 and 2009 island plans. The areas in brown are lands that were either not designated or have been added on since. What are land use designations? It's DHHL's version of zoning or land use districts. So there are 2 primary categories. Lands are either for homesteading or for non-homesteading. Homesteading is the highest and best use. All lands that are suitable for homesteading, we try to put into a homesteading category. Here are the sub-homesteading uses. These categories, there's residential in yellow. These lands pull from are awarded from the residential wait list. You are required to put a home on it, no more than 1 acre. Subsistence agriculture pulls from the agricultural wait list for awards. Small lot agriculture, no more than 3 acres. You are required to cultivate, but there's no metric in how much you must cultivate. You also are not required to put a home, but you may if you'd like to. You also are not required to do an agricultural plan, a farmer business plan, in order to be in compliance. Supplemental agriculture, large lot agriculture, up to 40 acres. In order to be compliant, you must complete an agricultural plan, a farm plan or a business plan, and 2/3 of the usable acreage must be in cultivation in order to be in compliance. Next, we have pastoral, large lot agriculture, specifically for pastoral or ranching uses. These lots, you must have a ranch plan and you must fence the lot. That's a part of the lease requirements. Finally, DHHL Koleana added as a homesteading use. These are raw, without infrastructure lots intended for off-grid subsistence lifestyles. Other areas where you would see this would be King's Landing or Keaukaha Tract 2 on Hawai'i Island or Kaikinui on Maui. For non-homesteading uses, there's a variety. Pause to read. I want to make a note, renewable energy, based on comments from our beneficiary consultations, we are not proposing any acreage be put into renewable energy for Hawai'i Island. And this one, the brown one, stewardship, this category replaces the previous category that was called general agriculture. In the 2022 update to the general plan, beneficiaries said remove general agriculture. Number 1, being called general agriculture makes you think that agriculture can be done on the property, which is not always true. Sometimes it's just lava. Additionally, general agriculture is misleading because folks think it's for agricultural homesteading, but actually it's a non-homesteading use. So general agriculture as a category was removed and replaced with the term stewardship, meaning These lands could be used for homesteading. They're not currently identified for homesteading for different reasons, and they need to be stewarded in the interim until future uses become available. Now we get into where your feedback is necessary. So I'll be showing three maps. First is the 2002 Hawaii Island Plan land use designation according to that map, that plan. That's what the first map will be. The second map is what we brought out in round 2 in April for beneficiary consultation. And then the third map is the most recent updated one with any changes between the second and the third round. Starting with Keahu'u, this area is about 150 acres identified for residential homesteading in Kona. No changes other than addition of about 2 acres for community use to support this residential homestead. No changes between round 2 and round 3 maps. This is 200 acres at Honokohau. And all of it was put into commercial use. Round 2, no changes. For round 3, there's about 50 acres that was identified for community use. 2009 plan only included some of the acreage here. Most of it is for residential homesteading. It's the former lands under other entities that was transferred into the department's land inventory as a part of Act 14 to reconcile for the 16,000 acres that were stolen from the Hawaiian Homelands Trust. That's how all of DHHL's lands in the Kona Moku came into the inventory after Act 14 in the late 90s and early 2000s. When we came out in round 2, these were the designations, pretty much following the previous land use designations, with some areas in stewardship, all of the green areas, all the preserves are under conservation, some community spaces for parks and community areas, and then all of the red areas are commercial. As we refined this area based on kind of updated uses and updated preserve areas. Not a lot of changes. Next, we have Kalawa. In 2009, in the update, there were areas identified for residential in yellow, commercial is in red here, and then general agriculture, you can see about 100 acres, and then industrial in purple. Now, this red commercial area, this is directly across the street from the road into the airport. Now, when we brought it out for round 2, this area has subsequently been updated across from the airport to put it all into commercial use. Reason for that is because it's not suitable for homesteading. It's right along the highway. There's also a large HECO power plant, and so we don't want to site residential homesteads next to that area. So in round 2, it was all in red and residential. The area that was previously in general agriculture, again, not suitable for agriculture because there's constraints on water. There is no soil in that area. It's mostly all lava. So for that reason, it was added into industrial. This is also the Pukeave Street. This area is light industrial, so to match the surrounding areas. And then the planned residential is more Mauka in the existing, adjacent to the existing subdivisions. No changes between round 2 and round 3. For our Ainamana Legacy lands in 2002, Upper Pi'ihonua was about 7,000 acres, all put into general agriculture. The remaining lands in Humu'ula Tract were general agriculture, conservation, special district, pastoral homesteading, some commercial and community use along Saddle Road. And that's all. When we came out in round 2, we had added some areas in orange. Folks had requested specifically the opportunity for DHHL Kuleana for pastoral and or agricultural homesteading on the Mauna. Reason for that is because folks had asked specifically for the ability to expedite lot awards so that folks could begin homesteading in those lower areas. There's special district along the highway. We used aerial images to identify the extent of the lava area. Folks said that all the lava flow should not be included in homestead lots, so we've carve that area out and put it into special district. And then you can see along the Ala Kupuna and Saddle Road, there's a small section under special district and a small section under commercial use. Between round 2 and round 3, there were some changes. Folks said they didn't want commercial along the Ala Kupuna, so that was all put into community use with the idea that would need to do additional beneficiary consultation, and there could be commercial uses, but they're more interested in a community commercial use similar to like Ho'omaka Marketplace, something that benefits homesteads or associations instead of the department directly. Maintained the areas in Kuleana homesteading, and then we really looked at all of the lands in conservation and any of the lands that might have current or future uses that go beyond just conservation, maybe sustainable forestry, maybe homesteading in the future. We've put all of those into stewardship. So we'll have to, in the future, look at if we can do homesteading there. And as soon as those areas may be available for homesteading, the highest and best use is, in fact, in homesteading. Next steps. Please go to the website. Please participate in the next comment periods. We have to put together a draft of the plan and put that out so that folks can comment on it, take it to the commission so that commissioners can comment on it and review, and then ultimately put together a final version and take it to the commission for adoption.